Sensoa defines 6 criteria to help assess whether sexual behavior is okay or not okay. 1. Mutual consent. Sexual behavior is only okay if all people involved feel comfortable with it and agree to what is happening. Mutual consent means getting and giving a yes before going a step further sexually. There is no mutual consent, for example, when a nude picture is forwarded without the permission of the person in the picture. Mutual consent is important in relationships as well. It's not because your partner consents to kissing you that you can automatically take it a step further without getting consent. 2. Voluntary engagement. Voluntary engagement means that you do something because you want to. Not just to make the other person happy, to get a reward, or because you are afraid of the consequences. It means not putting any physical or verbal pressure on someone, not using violence when approaching someone sexually, and feeling free to say no. Telling your partner, if you don't have sex with me right now, that means you don't love me, or threatening to spread false information about someone if you can't touch their body, are examples of situations in which voluntary engagement is compromised. 3. Equality. Equality means that in a sexual interaction, both parties have to be in an equal position and feel like they can set their boundaries if they want to. There has to be a certain balance between both parties regarding age, knowledge, intelligence, popularity, status, maturity, and so on. Because if one person has more power or is stronger, it's harder for the other person to say no. It's not okay for a teacher to send flirty messages to a student, or for a youth worker to hit on one of the youngsters he or she is working with, for example, since there is a clear power imbalance in those situations. 4. Age and developmentally appropriate. Sexual behavior should be adapted to the stage of development you're in. You should feel completely ready for the steps you're taking, and those steps should fit your development. When 2 12-year-olds have sex, for example, we will question this behavior, even if they both consented and did not feel pressured in any way, because it is not appropriate for their development. 5. Context appropriate. Healthy sexual behavior is adapted to the environment. It means taking your surroundings into account and not doing things that disturb or shock others. Having sex in a locker room where others can hear you, or watching porn on your cell phone while you're on the train, are examples in which this criterion is not met. 6. Impact. Impact refers to the consequences of sexual behavior. Sometimes, sexual behavior causes physical, emotional, or psychological harm. Respecting the criterion of impact means thinking about the consequences of your sexual behavior and only proceeding if those consequences feel okay and are not harmful to yourself or others. If you don't know whether or not you have an STD and still have unprotected sex, this shows disrespect to yourself and to your partner, for example. If one or more of these 6 criteria is not met, we talk about sexually transgressive or inappropriate sexual behavior. If one of the first 3 criteria, mutual consent, voluntary engagement, or equality, is not met, we talk about sexual abuse.